Hello friends, welcome to my new video. So today in this video I will going to discuss with you all about refractive surgery. Let's start. So what is refractive surgery? So refractive surgery means surgical procedure which is performed to correct the refractive error of the eye, that is called as refractive surgery. So now what is refractive error? So refractive error is the condition when our eye is unable to focus the light rays properly on the retina so that the light rays can focus in front of the retina or behind the retina. That is known as refractive error. So what are the types of refractive error? So there is three types of refractive error: myopia, hypermetropia, astigmatism. In myopia, the parallel rays of light rays which are coming from infinity get focused in front of the retina instead of focusing on the retina, which is due to elongated axial length of the eyeball, or if the corneal curvature gets steeper, it leads to myopia, which is also known as nearsightedness. Now let's move to hypermetropia. Hypermetropia means the parallel rays of light rays which are coming from infinity get focused behind the retina instead of focusing on the retina, which is due to shortening of the axial length, or if the corneal curvature get flatter, it leads to hypermetropia. And now let's move to astigmatism. Astigmatism means the light rays cannot focus in a single point. There is multiple focusing point is seen in astigmatism. So astigmatism is due to irregular surface of the cornea, or if the corneal curvature are not equal to each other. That means the vertical corneal curvature become more steeper than the horizontal corneal curvature, or vice versa, which leads to astigmatism. So refractive surgery, let's move to refractive surgery now. So there is three types of refractive surgery are there. There is LASIK, that is known as laser assisted in situ keratocondylosis, PRK, photorefractive keratectomy, and ICL, intracolumnar lens implantation. So before performing refractive surgery to a person, there is some criteria that the age of the patient should be more than 18 years of age, and there should not be any fluctuation of visual acuity, that is refractive error. His refractive error should be in a stable position, then only refractive surgery can perform. Suppose the person's refractive error is increasing. So after performing refractive surgery, then also his refractive error will increase. So it will be useless to perform refractive surgery there, as it ultimately in no use, as it increase as the patient refractive error is increasing. So refractive error should be in a stable position, then only we can perform refractive surgery. Or if the person is having any hormonal changes in his body, then it also can leads to some change in the refractive power of the eye. So there also refractive surgery cannot be performed. Suppose the patient is a pregnant woman. So in a pregnant woman there is many hormonal changes can seen. So in that stage refractive surgery cannot perform. So these are some criteria. Now let's move to different refractive surgeries. Now first we will start with LASIK. So there are several types of LASIK surgeries available. There is normal LASIK surgery is there, then aspheric LASIK, then microkeratome, then femtolaser technology, then SMILE, then Contora Vision. So here microkeratome means blade LASIK, and femtolasic means bladeless LASIK surgery. So SMILE is under bladeless LASIK surgery. Okay. So let's start with LASIK. There is simple LASIK. Here a corneal flap is created, and in the central part of the cornea, which is the pupillary area of the cornea. Okay. Here lasers are used to flatten its surface, to make the light rays get focused in the retina. So this is simple LASIK. Now a question comes in our mind that if in a myopic patient where there is already a steepening of the corneal curvature is seen, so that we can use laser to flatten its surface. But what about hypermetropia, where there is a flattening of the corneal curvature is there? So how laser is used to correct the refractive error in hypermetropia? So here it is seen that or in hypermetropic cases, the peripheral corneal curvature in the peripheral cornea there is laser used, and it is seen that in periphery there is less corneal curve, but in center there is more corneal curvature is seen. So this is how hypermetropia is corrected. Now let us move to aspheric LASIK. So previously in the normal LASIK surgery, a corneal flap is created, and after that the pupillary corneal area where laser beam are used to flatten its surface. But look at the below picture, there is the corneal curvature is not uniform in shape. In the central area there is a more flattening than the peripheral area. So it looks some abnormality here. So in aspheric LASIK, lasers are used to blend the corneal curvature in central and posterior to make a uniform corneal curvature, that is aspheric LASIK. Now let us move to submaument keratomylosis or microkeratome. So it is seen that by creating a flap, it reduces the corneal thickness, which ultimately reduces the corneal strength. So scientists thought that if we reduce the flap thickness, then it can make the cornea thicker, so it can hold the corneal strength for a longer period of time. So they created lesser thick flap, that is 100 micrometer, that was previously 160 micrometer. So and they seen that by creating that less thicker flap, we can correct 3 to 4 diopter of refractive error. So this is how microkeratome become very popular worldwide. Now let us move to SMILE LASIK, that is under femto LASIK, which is bladeless laser surgery. Here highly focused laser beam are used in one in the corneal superiorly and one in the inferiorly, so that in the middle of the cornea there is a lenticule is created, and by a forceps like instrument, this you can see the lenticule in the middle. So there is no flap is created, but a tissue of the cornea is removed by a forceps like instrument, and it ultimately reduce the corneal thickness, and which is very important, or which become very beneficial in reducing the refractive error of the eye, that is SMILE, that is small incision lenticule extraction. Okay. So let us move to our next laser treatment, that is known as Contora Vision. This is the most advanced and most latest laser treatment where topography is used. So scientists saw that no surface in our body is truly regular surface. Every surface has some irregularities. Like cornea also have irregular surface. If the person is having 6/6 visual acuity, that person also having some irregularity. So suppose a person is having a high degree of refractive error, then he can have more irregular corneal surface. So in Contora Vision, that irregularities of the cornea is detected by topography, and it also made regular surface by laser, as well as they also made the cornea flatter. So there is a uniform and smooth corneal surface is created, which ultimately reduce the coma and chromatic aberration also, and which increase the contrast sensitivity, that is which increase the contrast of the image. And it is also seen that by performing this contour vision technique, maximum patient are gaining 6 by 6 visual acuity, and there is many patient who are getting 6 by 5 or 6 by 4 visual acuity. So it become very popular technique in laser, and which is the latest technique now. So now let's move to PRK. PRK, it is also a flapless laser treatment where the superficial corneal layer is removed by using alcohol, and after that laser is used to flatten the corneal curvature, that means to change the corneal curvature laser is used without creating any flap, that is known as PRK or photorefractive keratectomy. Okay. So now let's move to ICL, that is known as intraocular contact lens. Now it is very popular as intracolumnar lens implantation. So it is a toric lens which is placed just anterior to the normal or natural crystalline lens to correct the refractive error. So normal LASIK, this ICL is far better than LASIK. Now LASIK have some limitation, that LASIK can correct refractive error up to 7 to 8 diopter hardly, but this ICL implantation can correct refractive error up to 18 diopter. So it become very popular. So now a question is coming that why if ICL is more or far better than LASIK, then why people are not doing ICL and people are very familiar and also doing very much laser treatment. So the answer is ICL is very much expensive. It is twice or thrice the price of LASIK. So it is economically many patients feel that it should not be performed or it is beyond their limit, so they are choosing LASIK. And another reason can be that ICL implantation, that means ICL lens will be inserted inside the eye, but laser is performed outside the eye in the cornea. So when this implantation word is coming, then many patients think that it will be little complicated, so they are choosing laser which is in the outside the eye. So this is why ICL is less popular, but it is very effective treatment option. So so you can see that in the ICL there is a tiny hole is created in the center. Can you tell me why this hole is created? So let me tell you that this hole is created because to allow the aqueous humor to pass through it, so that it will not block the aqueous flow. But ICL also have some side effects. It is very less, but it can lead to cataract. Now cataract, if the person is having cataract due to ICL, then also cataract surgery can also be done by and ICL, that lens ICL is not permanent, like we can remove the intracolumnar lens easily, but LASIK is permanent, that the tissue is removed. But ICL, if the person is having cataract due to ICL, then after removing the ICL, we can remove the cataract by SICS or phacoemulsification, and after that we can implant the intraocular lens in the eye, which can correct his refractive error and can give the patient 6 by 6 visual acuity. So if the person is having a very high refractive error, here in ICL we are not touching the cornea, so corneal thickness remain unchanged. So if the person is having a very high refractive error of 25 diopter, then we can perform ICL, which can correct up to 18 diopter, and after that, to correct the additional refractive error, we can do or we can perform LASIK over the cornea, which can correct up to 7 to 8 diopter. So, it is seen that we can correct up to 25 diopter of refractive error by performing refractive surgery. So, this is some advantages of refractive surgery which we should know. So, this is how ICL is look like. So, that is all friends. Thanks for watching, and please do not forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much.